All right, my new keyboard sucks. Like I'm gonna unplug it. It sucks. I'm just gonna put my new one or my old one back on my HyperX. This keyboard is cute. It is cute. It is a cute girl, but it's just I don't like it. Like I can't even use the function keys because I have to hit like FN plus. Like and I'm sitting up there playing DCS. I'm like I can't hit FN plus to use the function keys. I mean, I'm using a MIG and I got this F18 at my 1 o'clock. What are we doing here? So, but if you're playing DCS and you're using MIGs, you're going up against Western fighters. If you're going up against Western fighters Western jets have better radar than the Soviets. The Western jets can shoot at about 60 miles out. Like shoot, turn to the fin. I can't shoot till I'm about 40 miles in, 40 miles out from you. So I'm automatically defending myself, and I got within the cone on one F-18, and I did shoot it down, but I'm sorry, it was two of them, and me and my wingman took out his wingman, so it was 2 against 1. He went right after my number two, and so my number two wingman, not the number two. And he went after him. So I hit the deck. I got my plane turned around, used inertia, got the speed going, and was able to come out of my turn, and they were right there. So I locked him up really quick, and I took him down with the ER 73. I'm sorry, the ER 73, which is and it dropped flares, but that missile is not a heat seeker. It is a radar guided missile. So I got him. So, but damn. All right then. All right. So welcome to the podcast. It's Sunday. I was going to do this podcast yesterday, but a boxer and a person that I really enjoy seeing and being around, George Foreman, he passed away. And George Foreman is the one that brought us to George Foreman Grill. It's the same George Foreman. And the reason why we had these little bitty indoor grills now is because of the George Foreman Grill. Now, he didn't invent it. He put his name on it, and he pitched it, and people fell in love with it. So I was like, well, so I just moved this to today. Shout out to everybody that's here now. Everybody will be here later on. Got some topics to go over. Won't be here long. I do want to jump back into Shadows. Assassin's Creed Shadows. I'm enjoying playing it, but I want to start with The Last of Us Part 2 because, like I said, I can't even blow this up on the screen. It sucks. Like I said, my keyboard sucks. It sucks. It just sucks donkey balls. So, but if you don't know, Sony is making their move as I thought they would. They want The Last of Us 2 remastered PC players to sign in the PSN, which we told you. I mean, I know I told you they were going to do no matter what. They just didn't do it with Shoot Fire, Helldivers 2. They could have done it at the beginning and say, yeah, look, it's going to release on PC, sign in PSN, go to town. But because they didn't do that in the beginning, they did it afterwards, so the PC community revolted. Ever since then, however, you've been required to sign into PSN. Okay, so it's says here that the Sony again wants the Last of Us Part 2, Last of Us 2 Remastered, PC players to sign into PSN, and they're offering the Intergalactic, the Heretic Prophet skin for Ellie as an incentive. Now, I don't know if Ellie gets to start the game with this, or if you have to play the game and beat the game, and then you can then you can change her clothes. Because see, that's what they didn't tell us in the last time. Remember they did the first Last of Us, the remaster for PS5, the remake for PS5. They showed you them changing clothing and changing the gun and changing the bow and arrow, things like that. But what they didn't tell you is that you have to beat the game once. You have to beat it, then pause. You have to beat the game. Then you could go ahead and you could come back in and you could go ahead and replay the game, and Ellie have different outfits on. That's when I was playing it. I was streaming it, and people were like, "Well, how come Ellie has on a different shirt? Why does she have on different shoes?" Stuff like that. It's because I already played through it, and then it gives you X amount of points to spend on different clothing. It gave me, and the clothing isn't expensive. It's like $10, but this is in-game currency. You don't. Naughty Dog, Sony didn't say, well, you give us an extra $19.99, and they didn't do that. So just so you know. But for the PC community, okay, let's see here. It says here that The Last of Us Part 2 Remastered arrives a year after the PlayStation 5 version. Again, they had to wait a whole year for this version. And you got to remember, The Last of Us came out in the year 2000. One game of the year in the year 2000. So this game is 5 years old. But as far as the PC community, they're going to get NVIDIA's DLSS, Deep Learning Super Sampling 3 support. AMD FSR 3.1 and FSR 4. The FSR 4, you got to remember, is the new one. That's the RDNA 4 ray tracer, the one that Sony helped them out with. VSync and frame rate cap options, okay, and including uncapped frame rate, direct storage support, adjustable texture quality, LOD distance range. That is actually pretty neat. Volumetric quality, shadow quality, ambient occlusion, reflections quality. Now, all this is included with your PS5 Pro. You get this already, except you don't get to adjust it. Our textures are already and very high to ultimate. The volumetric quality is already very high to ultimate. The shadow quality, maybe you can control shadow quality. The ambient inclusion is already included. So are your ray tracing reflections. Okay. Matter of fact, I don't know if it has ray tracing in it. Let me take that back. Also, there's support for ultra-wide monitors. So again, I think that's good. I love the fact that both Sony and Microsoft support ultra-wide monitors, because I have an ultra-wide monitor, and I want that supported. So I haven't plugged it into my PS5 Pro yet, my 5090. I haven't done that yet. So, but I'm looking at the Sony OLED, the monitor. I'm looking at that, but it's got to come off the $800 line. Like, damn it, Sony, you are gonna make me go broke. So it says, as expected, you can play in 4K resolution with various supported controllers as well as keyboard and mouse. Okay, and it has 3D audio that's supported. So all the PC players who have 3D headphones, 3D sound headphones, it's supported. Again, we already had that on PS5, but okay. Let's see here. The Last of Us 2 Remastered on PC offers a wide range of graphic settings and presets to ensure the best possible experience on hardware ranging from high-end PCs to handhelds. All righty, look at your graphics. Okay, this right here. Remember we told you guys that most of the PC gamers are at 1080p. Look at what you have. This is what most of them have. Most of them have the 5 CPU, whether it's Intel or AMD, and they have 3060s. This is the vast majority of them. And this right here is an RDNA. I believe the 5700 is an RDNA 1 card. This is where the majority of the PC community is playing, right here. Okay? In order for you just to get high at 1440p, which is where the minority of PC players are at, you need an i7 and a 3070 R6800, which is a RDNA 2 card, and the 3070. Now you're getting into they're going to consider this like, you have the low cards, the 20s. You have the next step up, which is the 30 series. And see, I can't bring that over. That's what kind of made me upset. But this right here, the 4K 60, this is what we have on PS5. We already have this. Now, what the PC community will say is, well, you all have it, but you all have it through upscaling, and we have it natively. Yeah, but look what they had to have to do this. They need an i7 or Ryzen 7, and then they need a 7900 XT or a 4080. The 7900 XT is what? An RDNA 3 card. So, I mean, so again, you needed to get what we have on the Pro, you need a 4080 or 7900 XT. So, let's see how much a 4080 costs. Okay? Let's see how much a 4080 costs. 4080 price. All right, let's go to Amazon. There you go. That's a 4080. The 4080. $1,700, $1,800. That's just for the graphics card. Okay? That's for the graphics card. Now let's look up the Ryzen 7. It was the Ryzen 7. It was the 5700. This is for your CPU. There you go. Now this is actually a pretty good price. I almost bought the hell. I still may buy this. This is the Ryzen. This is what, so $126 plus $1,800. And let's just round that down. Let's round it down to $100. Right now you're at $1,900. That doesn't include your SSD, your headphones, your controller, your monitor, or TV. Yeah, I mean we can go on and on and on. But again, we already get this on our, and we have higher than this. You know, because we can uncap it as well. So, but our graphics are in high to ultra. So, we didn't include the SSD and none of that. So, look, 32 gigabytes. We have it at 16. They need 32 to do what we get in 16. So, henceforth, my comment of the PS5 Pro is going to be more powerful than the 4090. We can clearly see that's where we're at with this. Oh, well, Craig, it's a 4080. Yeah, but it's a baby. The 4080 has been around for what, 2 years? Wait, 2 years is it? 2 years, 3 years? Not sure when the 4080s came out. So let me see if Alexa knows. Alexa, when did NVIDIA release the 4080 graphics card? Let's just see what it says.
From TechPower.com. The GeForce RTX 4080, the enthusiast class graphics powered by NVIDIA, launched on September 20th, 2023.
Right, so 3 years old, give or take. 2 years and some months old. But my point is that Alexa said it's an enthusiast card. We're at the exact same point with them that they have to spend $2,000 just and get the exact same thing we're getting. So this is why I've said before, do not get caught up in the bullshit coming out of their mouths. Just don't do it. You know, so, and again, they're having these no characters. So there's Bill, and then there's Marlene. So I think Marlene died. I can't remember. So I haven't played the game in a while. So, and you're getting maps. Okay, but here's what I've been told. Here's what I was told yesterday. These maps that you're getting, these are from the, what if I told you that these maps were from The Last of Us multiplayer online? Woo! These are from the online. They have brought these maps over. I don't know if you remember Overlook. Remember when they showed that still shot of the people looking down with their rifles? This is from that. The only difference is they changed the setting. They simply changed the setting, but it's the same map. And I love what they're doing because they in essence are taking the co-op, if you want to call it, which I think The Last of Us with co-op would be cool. But they're taking the online component that everybody was screaming about at your MBGs, and the rest of them were Marlin Gaming Nation. The rest of them were crying about, screaming about, rage baiting about. And they made this. They took those maps and they're like, oh, now we're going to put it in here. Woo! Man, you talk about taking it in the shorts for online play. Oh, man. So just so you know that's where these new maps came from. It says here Says here all new no return content plus new trophies for all you suck ass trophy hunters, and additional bug fixes will be available on PS5 day and date with the PC launch. So all this is just added, I guess. I thought you had to pay for this, but they're just giving this to you. So don't get caught up in the Sony's anti-consumer. Like Gas says, Sony doesn't give a shit about its customers. Like, no, it doesn't give a shit about you, Gas, because you're a PC guy. And again, you're getting the exact same things. Then here's what I wanted to show you as well. Sony says you won't have a link. Hold on. Sony says you won't have to link a PSN account to play some of its games on PC anymore, but they're going to start recommending this. They're going to start. This is the shift. Okay. Now this happened in January, but that strategy, as I showed you all, has shifted. It has shifted. For The Last of Us Part 2, you got to sign in. And this is what Sony is going to do. This will lead me into my next story. Well, here, while I got this up here, I have this up here. Let me see how much that monitor costs right now. We're not going to click over. So we're going to look at a, see, look at that. I've been looking. So monitors. Sony is, yeah, I looked at this one, but I don't know if it's 2.1 HDMI. So let's look at OLED. I hate this new keyboard. OLED monitor, HDMI 2. All right, see, I've already got it in there. Paul. Okay. So there we go. I may have to have a dono war. Is it time for a dono war? Oh man, let's look at this one. No, see, this is IPS. I am not buying. You can tell all the LEDs are now on sale because they're steadily being replaced by OLEDs. But this is a 1440. This is actually a good monitor, but this is not the monitor that I would want. So they don't have one. I guess. Well, now here's one. Hold on. Man, that's pause. That's too big. Look at this one. Yeah, I may have to have a dono war, ladies and gentlemen. Put a one in the chat if I should have a dono war. But let me say it like this. The donations will be because we got to keep the lights on, okay? We got to keep the lights on, ladies and gentlemen. Also, I may have to, because I heard, like I said before, I heard one of your favorite YouTubers had to take back their their PlayStation VR 2. That's what I heard. It may not be true. Oh man, there's a PT Barnum was right. There's a sucker born every minute. Oh man, how do you all just not get mad at that kind of stuff? You see what I'm saying? Oh man, so you all are saying I should have a dono war? Because then I will just turn around and use the money to get a new monitor. Okay, forget about the lights. I don't need the lights. I need the. Oh man, indulge me with that one. So I have a dono war set up actually. If somebody were to donate $2, it's gonna make the confetti rain. So hopefully one of you all donates $2 so I can keep the lights on. Wink, wink, nod, nod. Oh man. Come on now. Somebody make it rain for me. If not, I'm gonna, what I'm trying to think of what people tell you all so that you all will donate money. I don't know what else to say. I mean, should I do the dono for the 4080? For the 4080? Because that's almost 2 stacks right there. I'm just letting you know. So, all right, we'll move on. Hit that like button if you don't mind. Make sure you do that. Also, 2 comments here. I had people ask me about what's going on. Like, Porter Rock put out a statement about there's something going on in his family. So make sure you keep him and his family in your prayers as well. I don't know what is going on, but as far as what it is, but he put on social media that it was something else going on. So just, go ahead and keep him and that family in your prayers, please. Just, worst thing that can happen to some of us is a hospitalization, because it's not something that we prepare for. It just happens. And if that's what's going on, let's just keep them in our prayers, okay? So big prayers up for Porter Rock, his wife, and his family, okay? Make sure you keep them in your prayers. All right. That's why there was no podcast this week for 60 Frames No Lag. That's why there was no podcast, the Friday Night Live he's been doing. That's why there was no podcast for that. Also, Sick Humor was all Sick Humor did. He simply deleted his I don't know if he deleted it, but he closed down or having you log out of his Twitter X feed because it's toxic. It is toxic. This whole thing with Assassin's Creed shows you how toxic it was. First it was going to fail. Then the game has done extremely well. I'm kind of moving into that. The game has done extremely well. Then it's, it has to sell up umpteen million copies to be successful. And it's just like, it's already successful. It has the rest of its life to make the numbers that it's got to make. So, and it's on its way to making that. So these same toxic ass incels, they failed. And so what they're doing is they're constantly moving the goalposts. So now it's about, it's not about, now it's, they're talking about the numbers. They're not talking, how come they haven't given us sales yet? Like the game's 48 hours old, 72 hours old now. Give them a chance. Give them a chance to get their numbers in. At least after the weekend, they'll know. On Monday, they'll know. And but then they'll have a good sense on how it's going. But all the reports coming out is that they're happy with what it's doing. So, and that's good. That's a good thing. And it does sound like Assassin's Creed, is it Hex or Hexis or something like that they're going to do that. Also, I didn't know when I was playing Assassin's Creed Valhalla, give me $1. I didn't realize that Basim from Assassin's Creed Mirage was on there. Like I haven't even gotten to that part yet. And it looks like that based on what's coming out, the Eivor that's female is, if you haven't played Valhalla, the Eivor that is female is the canonized character. So now I'm just going to tell you right now, the game doesn't make any sense when you go to Asgard as the female Eivor, because the way they're talking is it doesn't make any sense how they're talking. So it just doesn't. It would have been better off if she had become one of the people that roll around with Thor. So I forgot their names, but anyway. So this brings me to my impressions of Assassin's Creed Shadows. Now I've been playing Assassin's Creed Shadows since Thursday. So I'm going to start with what I don't like about it. So when you're setting this game, and this is if you play inverted controls. I'm going to say that again. This is if you play inverted controls. if you play inverted controls, the way they've got this set up is effed up. It took me almost 40 minutes to figure out. It took me almost 40 minutes to figure out how to put my controls, because in the other Assassin's Creed, you simply would just invert, I think, the y-axis, and then you invert the aiming axis, and you may have to invert the camera. Well, there is no camera to invert this time, because it's a much fluid way that they have you playing. And but that, I didn't like that at all. Like, that took me, I'm telling you, when I got home Thursday, I couldn't start playing the game until I got that set correctly. And I had to go online and figure this out on my own. Not on my own. I went online and I finally was like, you got to put it, if you invert, you have to invert the whole left stick. And it's just, it's effed up, the way they did that. So I didn't like that. Also, the building of your hideout, the way you have to build it, it's just not set up in my mind correctly. I would have wished they had done it pretty basically, which is, if you want to build this, here's, it'll tell you need to get this material, right? That's there. But what I don't like is that it doesn't really tutorial you on how to get that done. It is messed up the way it's just the way it's worded. For me, that is hard to understand. So the building of the thing and then adding to it, I just wish, this is just me, I wish they had allowed you just to go to the screen. It does something like you see in Civilization, where you can move things around and put things in certain spots when you're building. That's there. That is part of it. So that's pretty cool. What I wish they had done is I wish they had just gone ahead and said, okay, here's the hut, so to speak, and you can build your hut, put it over here. Okay, once I do that, I think I should be able to go back and put the cursor over the hut, and it should just say, go to your second level, like go to level 2, and it's like, maybe it does do that, and I'm just understanding it incorrectly, but it's still a pain in the ass. So those two things I don't like about Shadows, okay? Now, the controller thing, I remedied. The other thing, I'm just going to have to get better at it. That's just the way it is. Now, let me tell you what I like about it, is that the combat is extremely fluid. I recommend not using auto lock. Just like in Ghost of Tsushima, you could use auto lock or turn it off. You can do the same thing here. The problem is that on console, we don't have a field of view. So if you play Star Wars Outlaws, you could widen the field of vision. You can't do that on Assassin's Creed. So at least on console, you can do this on PC, but you cannot do it on console. And so you almost have to have in your head a clock on how long it takes the enemy to swing at you, because the enemy's job is to surround you, and that way they can come at you from all these multiple different angles, and you're trying to prevent that by you want to get your back up against a wall, against a building. That way you can keep everything in front of you. Also, what I love is that if you try to play the game as the girl and you're trying to overpower people, it does not allow you to do that. So this is the part that I'm really enjoying, is that to play as the girl, you have to be stealthy. And something else you may want to try is to go ahead and put automatic assassinations on, because that, especially when you're leveling up, I want to make this clear. When you are leveling up, that will help you level up, because if you try to assassinate, like my character right now, she's like a level 5. When I went to assassinate somebody who's like a level 10, it did not work. Again, that's part of the game. I'm not mad, but if maybe when I get to level 10, so I may put on automatic assassination. So, but her strength is her quickness. So it's like death by 1,000 cuts. She's gonna cut you several times. Also, I don't know how to use the damn forge. I mean, I'm like, how do I use the forge? So I need to learn how to do this. And today, before the NCAA starts, I'm going, 2 o'clock. I'm going to go ahead and learn how to use the forge. So that's what I'll be doing when I'm playing. And but the combat is extremely fluid. I still like the blocking mechanism from Assassin's Creed Odyssey. I just thought that was the best blocking mechanism with Odyssey on the PlayStation. The bumpers on the top, was it L2 or L1, whatever those are, those bumpers. Those you block with both of those because I would use two different. She has two different weapons, and so I would use block for both of them. But the game itself, the transversal, the way you transverse around, much better, much more fluid. They have your character has much more natural movements when they're moving around. So I love that. I love that. And so yeah, I mean, overall, I'm giving the game so far about an 8 out of 10. The game is that good. I'm not going to spoil it in case you all plan on buying it. So yeah, as he's in the house, he says, we need a 3-part stream or let's play Assassin's Creed Shadows. Let us know you're after the 3 video. Well, I can tell I've streamed it. I've played it at least for 6 hours. And so far, I'm enjoying it. But those things are just, I didn't care for those things. Okay. D9 says heaviest puncher in boxing history. Rip. Yeah. George Foreman just was the heaviest hitter in boxing. Just no doubt about it. No doubt. So, but just kind of moving on. So that's my impression of Assassin's Creed. It's fun to play. It is fun to play. And so if you like, and people are finally saying, is it as good as Ghost of Tsushima? So far, the answer to that is no. But they have all these little mini games that let you go back and do different things. I don't know if you saw when she's sitting down and you play that mini game and then it goes back into the past. That's actually fun. But she be getting her ass kicked. That's why she's got the scar on her face. I mean, she got her ass handed to her. And so all that is in the game. She's not some super assassin. She's a much better thief. If you understand that, I'm going to play this game as a thief. Using her, you're going to enjoy the game a lot more. I disagree with Foxy Games when he says turn off the HUD, because then you don't really know which way to go. Now, if you're on your horse, it does allow you to hit path find, and your horse, and you can hit the X button, and the horse will just stay on that path. That's true. That is true. So that's actually pretty neat about the game. Also, if you're walking, it's set to 10. I put my walking down to 6 because she's a girl. She's a little girl. She ain't gonna walk that fast, right? And so again, good. The biomes are good. It has season change. Now it's wintertime for me, and then it just when the season changed, it has changed. But when it changed to winter, the trees are bare. You're leaving footprints in the snow. All that is there. It is actually. I mean, they paid attention to all those details. So the whole woke mob failed. I'm gonna go ahead, and I don't know what kind of relationship I'm gonna have with the Naomi girl or the dude, but I don't know, because in this game it does allow you to take a butt, and I don't know. I may end up taking a butt. We'll have to wait and see. So let's move on to the final topic here, which is Xbox third party, the pros and cons, and all that. Okay. So my understanding of this, it does look like D-Batch is going to be right, and that it's going to be, the next Xbox is going to be more of a PC and not a console. And they're going to allow you to build certain ways. Like, it'll allow you to upgrade and things like that. So I think they're going to have a base model, and then they're going to have a model. They'll have a base model, and then they're going to have a mid model, and then they're going to have a higher end model. This is just my understanding of it. So shout out to D-Batch. He called this last year. The big controversy, you're going to call it that, is that will it have Steam on it? And then if it has Steam on it, will Sony block that Steam use from from Xbox. Then you have people online arguing that Sony will. Some people say Sony won't. The fact is that we don't know. We don't know what Sony's going to do. And it's not. I don't have an issue with what they do either way. The console war is over. So if Sony wants to allow their intellectual property to be played on the device of Microsoft, this is going to be an open source device. I want to make that clear. It's like a PC. It's going to be like a PC. So, and so I don't know how that's going to work. Whether it's going to have, I don't think it's going to have Epic on there. I don't think Epic's going to participate. There may be a, but looks like it's going to have Steam. That's what it looks like. So if it has Steam, what's up, Destiny? How you doing, bro? Good morning to you. Welcome. So I know it's early Sunday. I'm still half asleep. So, but I will be doing an Assassin's Creed stream here at about probably when I get off here. So 10:30-ish. Just stay tuned. I'll literally fire it up as soon as we're done here to be on my 5090. But what are you all's thoughts? I mean, I'm more interested in what you all think. As far as the pros and cons, Post Up, yes, the GitHub guru, Post Up, he is reporting that Indiana Jones is going to be announced for PlayStation either tomorrow or Tuesday with a starting date. So, I mean, again, take it. It's not true until Xbox says it. So, but if it is true and they get a release date for that game sometime this week, you can expect the Xbox community to just keep losing their shit because they're going crazy that their game is coming over and that they can't believe it and they don't understand and stuff like that. So, it is what it is. Again, as far as the pros and cons, yeah, I'm glad that it's like what happened at what's it called? GameStop a few weeks ago. This guy was in there saying, I don't know whether to get the Series X or PlayStation 5, and the guy behind the counter said, let's get the PlayStation 5 because Microsoft is porting all their games. I'm like, they're porting the whole slate? And the guy at GameStop said, yeah, they just, they don't know if it's going to get physical releases or not. Indiana Jones, I believe, is a physical release. So I will be showing that. I'm going to buy that. I'm going to have that box sitting right up over there, and you all will be able to see it. So Halo will be the final blow. Yeah, I don't disagree. I don't disagree. But if I got into a time machine and went back 5 years and said, hey, don't buy an Xbox because Xbox is going to start porting all their games over, you all would have probably slapped me. And guess what? I would deserve it. I'll be like, yeah, you should slap me for saying that. But when all this stuff started happening, the panic started setting in when Forza popped up, and I didn't believe it. Like Zubitech had it first. I'm like, he's trolling. Shout out to Zubitech. I'm like, he's trolling. And then everybody started picking it up. Then I saw with J-Dub and Porter Rock and Porter Rock putting down the whole slate, I'm like, oh my God, is this real? So I went to a different website and I Googled Forza 5 on PlayStation, and there it popped up. Like the story was like 7 minutes old. It's like Forza listed. But I can tell you this. Indiana Jones is already in their computer system, and so is Starfield. They just have to turn it on. They haven't done that yet. So they're starting with Indiana Jones though, apparently. So, and that's supposed to be announced sometime this week. Take it with a grain of salt. Okay? Take it with a grain of salt. So, but I'm loving it. I'm loving this. So now what I'll do, that's pretty much all right. The pros of Xbox doing this is that more people will be able to play their games. The cons is that they won't have any exclusive content. And so this whole notion of, and you can see what they're doing now, and Crap Gamer brought this up on Crossfire, so shout out to Crap Gamer. He was saying that the fanboys will be excited if they can turn around and say, well, I don't have to buy a PlayStation to play your games. Because that's ultimately what they're upset about. They're upset that we don't, if you have a PlayStation, you're just going to be able to download Forza. Okay? You're just going to download it and play it. Same with Indiana Jones. And you don't need their Xbox to play the game. It's just, that's the way it is. It's going to be like that for all their games. Everything's coming over. The whole slate's coming. So shout out to Porter Rock for coining that. That's where that term comes from. Is Porter Rock looked at that camera and was like, the whole slate's coming. The CFO has made the decision. They did that cost benefit study. They're like, we're missing out on all this money, and we done gave you all $80 billion to buy 2 publishers. We want our money back plus points. So where that worked. Dig? So, Forza on PlayStation Portal, that's going to work. It's going to be fine. It's going to be everywhere. The whole slate's coming. But I agree that Halo being announced, which is odd because they're not using a proprietary engine. They apparently are redoing it on Unreal Engine 5, which to me is just weird. It's weird. It's weird. So... but because they had their own, didn't they spend like $500 million on was it the snow slip or the slip, whatever it is, something engine for Halo, the Halo game that they just did, and the game bombed. So, but yeah, the whole slate's coming. It's coming. So it is coming. So now we'll do a quick Sunday morning Q&A, and if you all don't have any questions, that is fine. I can go ahead and take a power nap because I'm still sleepy because I woke up at 4:30 in the morning. And I will get myself ready to play Assassin's Creed Shadows. So I will be streaming that on my 5090. But somebody if you all want me to stream it on Twitch, put a 1 in the chat if you want me to stream it on Twitch. Put a 2 in the chat if you want to see it on YouTube. Or if you don't care, that's fine. Put a 3 if you don't give a rat's ass. Number 3 is who gives a rat's ass what you stream it on. So, which is fine too. That's right, Hurricane. The whole slate's coming. It's most of their games that they're porting are already on the PlayStation Store's website. It's just they haven't activated it yet. Starfield is there. Of course, we know Indiana Jones is there. The Halo Master Chief Collection. It's on there. It's on there. So we just have to wait and see how this all is going to turn out. But the whole slate's coming. But let me know. So you've been playing Assassin's Creed. Yeah, I'm enjoying it. I put in what I talked about what I didn't care for. And it was, if you play with inverted controllers, then that's not, I didn't like the way I had to set that up. It took me hours to figure out. I'm like, okay, because see, when I pull the controller back, I want it opposite. So I like it when it's like flying a plane, point the nose up, point it down. It was doing the opposite. It was like, okay, when I would press forward for the character to go forward, they would go backwards. Then I changed that, and then it would do something different. It went to the side. I'm like, man, what is this? I'm like, man, what is this? Plus, Ultra said, that's up. It's coming. Yeah, it is. It's coming. The whole slate's coming. So you all don't, if you want to buy an Xbox, go buy one. If you want Game Pass through console, go get it. What I recommend you do, however, is that you simply get a PC, go ahead and activate Game Pass. It's like $7.99 a month. And there are games on there. I don't want to hear people saying they don't have nothing to play. They just may have stuff that you don't like to play. But if you like RPGs, and I love Western RPGs, like the Oblivion, the Skyrims, all that is on there. It is there. They even have the original Mass Effect 1, 2, and 3. And they have if you get EA, that is automatic. That's there. You can just play the old versions if you want that. or you can play the new version of the legendary. It's up to you. It is up to you. The Hurricanes, he didn't like the control. Yeah, it took me forever. I mean, I did not. Thursday, I barely played that game. Like, barely. And then when I came home Friday, I'm like, I'm trying to watch the basketball, and then I'm trying to play the game. I'm like, all right, I'll just play the game on Saturday. So I played Saturday, and then I wanted to watch Arkansas and St. John play, and then I watched a little bit of the Tennessee game, and both Tennessee blew UCLA out. That wasn't even close. And Florida plays today. Florida plays UConn today. That game is going to be a good basketball game. You got the two-time defending national champion UConn, Bobby Hurley. I think that's who coaches them. And up against Florida and that juggernaut that they got. So it's going to be fun to watch. I'm going to watch that game. So yeah, and I also don't like the way you got to build things. I don't like that. It's not, for me, it's not instinctive. I have to keep watching videos, and these are like 90-second videos. Oh, you just do this. Like, oh, okay. So yeah, I don't like that. You know, that's frustrating for me. So, but I'm getting used to it. You know, I had no choice, right? If I'm going to finish the game, but I have not finished Assassin's Creed Mirage, nor did I finish Valhalla. Give me $1 because I started replaying that because it was in PS Plus. So I'm kind of bouncing around those games, and again, for her to roll, I'm used to pressing square, and it's the circle, I think, or maybe it's the opposite. So it's like they keep changing the controls for the game. The game has not been the same with controllers. The controllers for Origins are different than the controllers in Odyssey. The controllers in Odyssey were different than the controllers in Valhalla, which are different than the ones in Mirage, which are different than the ones in Shadow. So they gotta make up their mind on what kind of controller they want. They got the open world, they've nailed it. The game is stunning. It looks, I'm telling you, it looks, the three best looking RPGs I had ever played. RPGs, best looking. One is Witcher. Then this is number 2. Okay. Then I'm gonna have to go with Jin Sakai in Ghost of Tsushima. This game looks better than I'm telling you, it's more dense than Ghost of Tsushima. So, and of course we know that Kojima's game is gonna come out here and it's gonna bomb everything out here. Even Sony's first party is gonna take the L compared to, because what I saw, that game looked crazy. Cray, as you kids would say. All right, then it's about 10:30, so I'm gonna go ahead and get set up to play Shadows. Make sure you leave a like, leave a comment or 10, and you all have a good rest of the day. And I will see you here in about a half hour. Deuces.